Welcome, 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 welcome. Habari Gani. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa, and I'm excited to celebrate. Now, I had to re-record this video because the first one, I don't know what happened to it. I tried to upload it directly to YouTube, so this is a repeat of the first video. So, Habari Gani, what's the news? December the 26th is Umoja today, the first day of Kwanzaa. And unlike the previous years where we kind of did the celebration and lit the candles and everything with the family, this year I wanted to go back to the beginning and give you guys a little bit of history on Kwanzaa, a little bit about the principles and the symbols and how it all started, where Dr. Karinja came up with the idea and the action of the seven principles. So because I've been studying and trying to keep myself abreast of the information over the last couple of years, I know a little bit, but to be factual, I printed up something for you guys, and so I'll be reading as I talk to make sure everything is fact-based and I'm giving you correct information, even though my enunciation may be wrong on a lot of these words. Bear with me, I'm not an expert, novice, but I'm getting there. So, like I said, today is Umoja is the first day of first principle, first day of Kwanzaa, December 26th. And over the next 7 days, or the next 6 days, today is number 1 out of 7, I'll be going over each principle as I like the candle that represents the principle. And I won't go back over what all these things mean and the symbols. So you got to go back to the first video to get all that. This video. Okay, so quickly I'm going to read a little bit about the history and what Dr. Karinja, what he had in heart when he came up with the idea of the cultural organization where Kwanzaa is derived from. So let me give a brief overview of Kwanzaa, what it is and what it is not. Kwanzaa is not a religion. A lot of Christians say I don't celebrate Kwanzaa because I'm Christian. Kwanzaa is a cultural celebration of our African heritage, accompanied with our African American culture. And Dr. Karinja found a way to go back to the Shanti people of Africa and the Zulu people of Africa and pull out some of the principles of those people and use it as a basis for Kwanzaa. So with that, Dr. Karinja, he's Karinja, I may miss his name up, much respect, a professor at the University of California in Long Beach, California, came up with this idea of Kwanzaa in 1966. 2016, we celebrated our 50th anniversary of the advent of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is mostly celebrated throughout the Americas, with the largest following and celebrants being in North America, the United States. The idea for him to do this came after the LA Watts riots. He wanted a way to bring our community back together, the African American community back together, to make us, whole and have substance and give us something that we could celebrate and have pride in and that sort of thing, just to reunite our community. Therefore, Kwanzaa was born. Kwanzaa is Swahili. I forgot that. The phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruit in Swahili, by its own. When people celebrate Kwanzaa differently, your family may celebrate a little bit different from the way my family would celebrate, but basically the same. Kanara, Makika, the candles, the unity cup, all those things are going to be the same. But the way we celebrate, whether it be storytelling, poetry, some sort of crafts or gift giving, or however the day-to-day celebration may look different from family to family, but the purpose and the process of Kwanzaa will be the same. With that said, I'm going to go into the 7 principles. I'm going to flip the camera and I'm going to go through the symbols of Kwanzaa and tell you guys what it means, and what is the action of each one of these items and what role it plays in the overall Kwanzaa celebration. And if you should have any questions, you drop them in the comments below and I'll come back and try my best to fill them in. So with that said, when you walk and you see somebody that you want to bring into your celebratory space, you just say Habari Gani, which is Swahili for what's the news. The person responds with the principle of the day, and if they don't know it, then you just go ahead and respond and share that principle of the day with them and tell them what it means, what the action is, and sometimes a brief, quick story of how you're using that principle to better yourself and your community. So Habari Gani, Umoja, which is unity, and in a nutshell, is just the action of Umoja is building a community that holds together. In a nutshell, so we're just going to build and unite and stay together, self, family, and community. I'm flipping around, and here's our setup. So I hope you guys can see everything in my setup. And if not, I'm going to be moving some things around. So here, the first thing you're going to see in my setup, which is our foundation, is our makika. The makika is our mat. It's the it's arranged on top of everything that's symbolic for Kwanzaa is arranged on top of our makika, and basically the makika is just the mat, and it is the symbol, which is what means the foundation upon which communities are built, and it can be made of straw or African cloth, anything of choice. Usually you'll see them made of straw like this. I got this guy from Amazon. It's just a few dollars, but I do love it. So this is our makika, and built up from our foundation, our makika, we have our kanara, which is basically, it represents a stalk of corn from which things grow. So our kanara is just Swahili for candle holder. So with our kanara, it's said to symbolize, like I said, a stalk of corn, and the candles are the branches from which new stalks grow. It's just like the human family, so it's symbolic to the human family, and then these things stem from the family. So in our kanara, we have our candles, and each one of our candles is called the Mashuma Saba, and each Mashuma Saba represents a principle. And you'll see me starting today with our black candle, which is our unity candle. It'll burn. This is our Umoja, which is unity. And this one unity candle will be lit every day of Kwanzaa, and I'll use it to light another principle in the order from which it should light. And we'll start here and go there and go here and then go there and then go there and then go there. And then we'll celebrate the last day of Kwanzaa with our last candle, which would be our Imani candle. All right. So in no particular order, we're going to go with, well, we're actually going to go in order with our unity candle of Umoja, which I said is unity, bringing a community and host together. And then our Kujichagulia candle. Kujichagulia is our second principle, and that is Kujichagulia is Swahili for self-determination, and basically the action of Kujichagulia is speaking to yourself and making sure that the choices you make benefit yourself and your community. And I think that's important in 2019 to make sure that the things we do and the things we say benefit us, and not only us, but our community, our families, and therefore. So Kujichagulia would be our second day of Kwanzaa. Our third day would be over here to my right, and that's Ujima. Ujima, the meaning is collective work and responsibility. And the action of Ujima is just helping others within your community to make sure that you're a servant to those who need to be served. Even if you're in leadership, servant leadership is important. So over here we have our Kujichagulia candle that will be lit on our second day of Kwanzaa. And then we're going to go back over here to our left, and our third candle would be Ujima, the principle of Ujima, which means collective work and your responsibility. So that basically means that you support businesses that care about the community in which you live, and the community in which you thrive for. And for me, it would be supporting other Black businesses in my community, and hopefully the Black business will in turn turn around and support the Black community. Better dollars for our schools, entrepreneurship for our children, apprenticeship for our children, those sort of things. So the third candle that will be lit with, like I said, is Ujima. And then Ujama would be back over here to our right, would be day 4. Ujama is cooperative economics. And I'm sorry, that was Ujama, was day 4. And that's when you support in the Black businesses. And Ujima was collective work and responsibility. I got ahead of myself, so I'm going to back up. So Ujama. And then our 5th day is Naya. Naya means a sense of purpose. And how important is that? Very important that we all have a sense of purpose, and that the action of Naya is that you can set goals that benefit the community. So in order to set goals that benefit the community, you got to set goals that benefit self. And then from there, it trickles out into the community. The better we are, the better we are able to aid our community in being better. The better the community, the better everything else. So with day 5 would be Naya, and then we would be back lighting this candle on day 5 for Naya. All right, day 6, Kuumba, which means creativity. The action of Kuumba is making sure that communities are better and more beautiful. A good way to do Kuumba is any small community beautification project, planting flowers, cleaning up litter, anything, helping a neighbor, pressure wash the house, anything that makes the community in which you thrive visually beautiful is a great example of how Kuumba would play into our daily lives. Um, then our last principle would be this guy, and that is Imani, which means faith. Oh, you thought that Naya was important, but Imani, having faith, is the foundation for everything that we are. Faith, believing that there's a better world can be created from communities now and in the future, is what Dr. Karinja had in mind. Having faith that the small things we do consistently over time plays a big part in the beautiful people and the beautiful community that we create. So with that, on day 7, we would light our Imani candle. Now with lighting of the Imani candle in the celebration on day 7 comes the big party, or a big how do you pronounce this? Kuraru? I don't know. I'm going to flip in my thing because I forgot how you pronounce it. Let's get to it. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'm just going to go ahead. When I get to it in the thing, I'll come back to it, but I'm not there yet. So our unity, we have our unity cup, and I think we spoke of the unity cup. I don't know if I gave you the technical name for our unity cup or for our corn that we have here. These fruit that I have in the basket here, let me tilt it a little bit, are fruit that came over with the slaves, our ancestors. These fruit, the watermelon, corn, peanuts, sweet potatoes, they all came over with our ancestors on the slave ships. Corn, usually during this celebration, we'll have an ear corn for every child that's in the family. We have a set of twins here. We have a new baby here with us, and so I need to add 1 stalk of corn to our basket. And then we have the actual, it's called Mazayo, Mazao. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But those are just the crops, the fruits, the nuts, the vegetables. So these things in Swahili, our fruits, our vegetables, our nuts, are called Mazayo. And they symbolize the work and the basis for the holiday. It represents a historical foundation for Kwanzaa. It's the gathering of the people in the pattern, in a way that patterns are African harvest, and the festival that they usually have, which celebrates joy and sharing, unity, thanksgiving of the fruits of the collective, and all that planning and work that went into the harvest and from the planting of the seeds to the harvest of these fruit and vegetables. Kwanzaa is built all around this harvest that goes into that, and every principle of Kwanzaa plays into from planting this and harvesting this, and then the feast that celebrates that harvest follows on day 7. What else can I say about this? I don't know. There's more things I can say about this, but I'm just going to leave that. So let me see if I skipped anything that I want to share with you. I think I told you this was called the Mishungu Saba, which is a candle holder. The Kanara, this was the Kanara. The gifts that we celebrate here, I just have this small gift that I was given a couple of years ago. Collect moments, not things. The gifts are actually called Swati. Zawadi. I'm not sure if I'm announcing that right, but you celebrate Kwanzaa, and a lot of times you give meaningful Swahili, which are gifts that encourage growth and self-determination and achievement. You give gifts that encourage people to be successful. A lot of those gifts are handmade. You exchange them with the members of your immediate family, your friends, whoever's celebrating on your day of celebration with you, January the 1st. You give gifts and you avoid, saying the chaos of shopping and things like that by hand making it in our traditional, the way our ancestors would have done in Africa. Handmade gifts, that sort of thing, and it really appreciated if you don't, spend things that are made or from the heart. So those are our the Unity Cup, which is I think it's the Kakombi Chai Umoja. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing Kakombi right, but by the way it's spelled, I think that's how it's pronounced. But that's our Unity Cup. And what happens with our Unity Cup is that on our on January 1st, when we do our celebration, everybody drinks out the Unity Cup. But before they drink out the Unity Cup, you would just give a little thanks, and you would just what is it that they say? Let me think. I think it's Harambe. Harambe is what you say. You drink out, you say Harambe or let's pull together, and that's the English translation of it. Every member drinks out the Unity Cup, and then we pass it. And so this is our Kakombi Chai Umoja, our Unity Cup. And it sits here until the last day. There is a name for the, I think the feast, and I think I call it the Karamu, if that's just bear with me with the enunciation of these words. But so we celebrate the Karamu or something like that. It's Karamu. We do that on the last day of Kwanzaa. So there we have it. These are our symbols of Kwanzaa. We again the makika. We got the corn. We got the corn, which is the vabunzi. We got the sawadi, which is the gifts of Kwanzaa. We got the kakumbi chai. What is this? Umoja, the cup. We have our kanara, and then we have our candles. And I think our candles have a name. Let me check. I know for a fact they do, but I always forget the name of the candles. So, Bashuma Saba. Those are our 7 candles, which represent our principles. Anyways, that is Kwanzaa, day 1. Normally, I would use this. I would light our Umoja candle. Let me see if I can get this. I would light our Umoja candle there. But today, I'm just going to use this one because last year I got burnt. And that won't happen again this year. So I'll light our Umoja, our Unity candle. And I'll just use that to light this one. If it cooperates. Because I'm filming it, it may not. Let's see what's going on with this guy. Alright, so there we go. We have our Unity candle lit, Umoja. Habari Gani, Umoja. That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow as we celebrate Kujichagulia, day 2 of Kwanzaa. Give you the information, share some things with you. I love you guys. See you for it. Make sure that you embrace the action of Kwanzaa in some small way. Find a way to build your community and find a way, once it's built, to hold it together. I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.